Hi, welcome to the second video in this very special training series on signing soulmate clients with astrology. I am your host, Sarah Mack from withsarahmack.com. And if you haven't already watched video one, make sure you go back to check that out, which was all about selling from your sun sign. And I give you a prompt that's really going to pull out the uniqueness of your story, which will make you stand out on the scroll to clients that don't care how much you're charging because they know that you're the person that they have to work with because of who you are and what makes you unique. And this is why I just love astrology as a tool for making content really fun, actually way more simple than when we don't have some type of a guiding framework. And I just love being able to see all of the parts of who we are reflected back to us from our astrology chart because it just becomes so freaking obvious what our strengths are and, what are some of the challenges that we've been through that make us so incredible at the work that we do with our clients. So I'm so happy that you are here for video number 2. I'm honestly so excited to dive into this with you. I have pulled together some freaking epic journaling prompts that are going to help you blast through your money-ish and really come back into alignment so that you can make more sales, have more flow and ease in your relationship with money, in signing clients, in taking your work and your business to the next level and hitting those next income goals, which I know we're all about. So we're going to be diving into your second house of astrology, which I will tell you more about in a moment. But first, in case you're still wondering, why astrology with business and with content, I honestly haven't seen anybody else doing it in this way. And it just made so much sense for me when I started using astrology with my clients because I can get so much information on them so quickly by looking at their chart. And I actually started looking at clients' charts and working with astrology with clients who I had kind of a long-term relationship with. So it was really easy for me to see how accurate it can be. And, this is the type of work that it's all about clarity and it's all about confidence, right? You're selling yourself online, which is not the easiest thing to do. And we're so close to ourselves, we're so multifaceted that really being strategically on point in a way that's leading to actual sales, and not just any old sales, but sales from incredible clients that you really are the perfect match to work with. It's one of the greatest joys in life when we're getting paid for the work that we love, but we get in our heads about it a lot because there's a lot at stake, right? There's money, there's putting ourselves open for criticism and for judgment, and that really impacts our storytelling, and it impacts our clarity, and it impacts our power. So having a way to really root into clarity and confidence in who we are and what we bring to the table, it literally is everything when it comes to having those 5-figure launches and being able to produce content that actually leads to sales and doesn't take you 10 million hours of overthinking and editing to produce, because it has to be consistent, right? So I see clients getting hung up all the time and holding back on the specifics of their story. And it's the specifics that really makes great writing and really makes you stand out on the feed and, not sound like everybody else. And I've been through that too, right? I had a lot of visibility fear. I procrastinated a lot in the beginning of my business. And guess what? I was making significantly less money then than I have been the last few years. And so often this is unconscious. We're holding back to protect ourselves, right? And it's real, I've shared some really personal shit on the internet. And so far, even though my fears were definitely grounded, and to be honest, some of the fears have played out. I've definitely received criticism. I've definitely received unpleasant feedback from people in my life. And it has strained some of my relationships, to be perfectly honest with you, but that's not me sharing my story publicly. That's more like me owning my truth and me taking a stand for my values, which has brought me so much joy, so much freedom, and so many freaking clients, right? Because I'm leading and living in the way that I want to be. And that's why people want to hire me. And, I have received the occasional dick pic. I have received the occasional sexual harassment comment, which is just a day in the frickin' life of a woman on this crazy ass planet. So, but I'm still standing. Like, I don't have any physical scars. I'm grateful. Would I do it all again? Yes, because the payoff and what I've been able to create has 100% been worth facing some of those fears. And the reason why I teach money mindset with content is because it's so inextricably linked. There's so much that comes up for us in entrepreneurship as women, as creatives, around not feeling worthy because of cultural programming, and also very real evidence of like maybe a history of people telling you that you literally are not valuable to our value system, or maybe you've had people who complain about your prices. Like, this is real too, and this is something that we have to rise above. And align with our truth and the vision of what we are here to create, what we want our economy to look like, what we want our contribution to look like, how we want to be compensated and valued for our gifts and our skills and our talents. So this is what the second house in your astrology chart is all about. So it's very easy to know what sign, which is what we're going to be focused on in this training, your second house is in, because I'll be able to tell you based off of your rising sign. So astro.com is my favorite place. It's free. You can put in your birth time, date, and place, and it will tell you. You'll also be able to look at any other planets and any other things going on in your second house, which we won't be diving into today. But if you are interested in more of my insights, hang tight and I will tell you more about how you can do that later. So second house is really anything you could possibly take ownership of. So literal objects, house, car, possessions inside your house, clothes, and also your voice and your opinions. And it covers money matters, how you earn a living, your relationship to money, and how you invest and deal with growing your wealth, with debt, how you budget, everything to do with money, and your personal finances. So, this is also going to reflect on your values and your aspirations and kind of how you show up related to money. And it's also connected to self-esteem and what you believe you're worthy of, and the things that you value about yourself, and, how you experience your immediate environment. So this is very appropriate for business, for selling, for marketing, for putting your work into words, putting yourself out there, getting visible, staking your claim for your mission, for your voice, for your contribution, and how you are financially compensated for that. So I'm going to go through each of the different placements. So pay attention to your sign, but honestly, all of these prompts are so freaking epic and can lead to massive, massive breakthroughs. So like I said, money has everything to do with our ability to sell and to have more sales flow and to welcome more clients, to be doing it in aligned ways that feel authentic, that feel good, that feel right to us, not trying to copy and paste someone else's way of doing business and forcing ourselves like, a square peg into a round hole. So taking care of our relationship with money is really how we release a lot of pent up money stress, or, untrue beliefs that we hold around our self-esteem that are impacting the way we're showing up or we're not showing up, which has that trickle down into our confidence, which has that trickle down into how we message, how we market, how we share our stories, and how, our energy really comes across when we're putting ourselves out there to attract new clients. So we're going to kick it off with Aries. Aries is about looking at where are your limits, what are your spending habits. Maybe sometimes you push yourself, overdoing it in the name of ambition, maybe overgiving to please others or to boost your self-esteem through validation. Do you attach your self-confidence and self-esteem to how much money you're making? That can happen with Aries. And, recognizing that you are capable of forging ahead and meeting and overcoming challenges. And you also excel at taking risks, which really does position you to succeed financially. You can also be impatient. I 100% resonate with that, which, can hold you back if you don't learn to manage it. So the journal prompts to get into more alignment for money for you are to just list what ways of bringing in more wealth are you most passionate about. like full permission to go for these. You can succeed at whatever you really put your mind to. So pick where you have the most passion, and that's going to really elevate your success. And then check in, what are my metrics of success for self-celebration and receiving satisfaction as I make progress towards my goals? So by really focusing on process, really like this is a huge part of my work with clients when it comes to money mindset. We have to retrain our thinking to constantly be focusing on what's working, especially as entrepreneurs, because so much of it is like there's no evidence, right? Like you have to forge ahead, and there might be no evidence for a significant period of time until suddenly it all starts to click and land and the clients show up and the money comes in. So not spiraling into money stress and negative projections around things not working is honestly, I think, like the number one skill in entrepreneurship, because you have to be able to keep going and keep moving forward to create that momentum. So focus on process, focus on what's working, and what are the lessons from the failures. This is the most useful framework that we can use to be focusing our mind, which likes to search and problem solve and look for what's working and try to keep us safe and protect us. And then, you have some evidence. Like, don't make celebrate what is working, even if it's just the fact that you're showing up and you're not freaking out. If you didn't get validation, cool, like validate yourself. This is really the name of the game. And don't make the risks that didn't work out mean anything about you. Be patient and follow your passion. So Aries, your Aries is in the second house if you are a Pisces rising. If you are a Aries rising, then Taurus is your second house. So Taurus second house is practical, reliable, and secure in relationship with money. Well, that is the highest expression. And it can also be, holding on too tightly to money. Definitely a love of luxury. Maybe a bit of an attachment to the familiar, to like loving routines and taking care of your things. Good at saving, not so good at risk taking, although the love of comfort can be a motivation to earn more. And it's important to be willing to take risks to avoid stagnation. Don't, watch tendencies for hoarding wealth and possessions or feeling like there's never enough. Maybe not being too generous because of a fear of not being able to support themselves, really having that need for security. And don't fall into the trap of tying up feelings of self-worth with luxury items, or resisting new ideas and financial opportunities because of that love of the familiar. So the prompts for Taurus second house are, what new financial opportunities have I been resisting because it feels too risky? So identify a risk you are willing to make as an experiment, like you can take baby steps, just to see what you might gain or learn, and really challenge yourself to follow through on it. Another one which I love is to make a regular donation as a way of demonstrating to yourself that you are abundant, that you do have overflow, even if it's a very small dollar amount, and to feel even more motivated to reach your next level financial goals, knowing that you'll be contributing more positively to others, as well as providing more abundance in your own life. Anytime you think of the donation and it brings up feelings of scarcity, this is your opportunity to shift your mindset into one of abundance. That money is ever flowing, opportunities for resources are always available to you, and there is always more than enough. So Gemini second house is Taurus rising. So this is a voracious learner when it comes to business and money, skilled at making smart investments, confident in your ability in business and making money because you've learned so much, and confident in your, I just said that. You enjoy talking or writing about or teaching on money and business. So really financial intelligence, competent, and having a quick mind. So really focus on connections through communication. You have an ability to handle shifting financial situations and uncertainty. And you can be overconfident. You love to talk, but don't fall into bragging. And don't overextend yourself or spread resources too thin or move them around too much. You can fall, into the trap of getting bored and moving on to the next thing without really sinking your teeth in enough for something to produce results. Or you could use smooth talking to stretch the truth a little bit. So the prompts for you are, What topic or maybe even locations are you most lit up by talking about and sharing with others, either to learn or to teach or both? And so intentionally feed and build your community around money and business and the topics that you love and places. And know that some of your biggest financial wins and opportunities are most likely to come through these connections, shared resources, information, and opportunities that come from your community. So this comes so naturally to you. So really pay attention to like what is going well for you and lean more into that. And then to avoid being scattered, choose your top 1 to 3 focuses for investing your time and resources to grow your wealth. Don't spread yourself too thin. Stick with it and follow through until you produce your desired results. Allow yourself to bring in others as resources, collaborators, and teachers to prevent yourself from getting bored. So Cancer in the second house is Gemini rising. Cancer is obviously an emotional water sign. So finances could be very tied to your emotions, and you're particularly motivated by providing for your loved ones. Your self-esteem can be impacted by how much you push yourself outside of your comfort zone to provide for your loved ones. So this can really make you a tenacious go-getter when it comes to making money, as well as coming off as someone who is a very logical thinker. So that emotional side makes it easy for you to read others' emotions in business environments. And making money in meaningful ways is likely very important to you. Emotional spending may be an issue, however, but you can be ambitious and driven, and particularly by the desire to create security and stability. You can be generous, you take care of your stuff, you're not wasteful, and you can be protective over what's yours. And there can be a link between self-esteem and finances, which can sometimes lead to seeking validation or maybe feeling really shaken by financial slip-ups, which, you know, when you fall and you really take a hit emotionally, that can just stall your progress. It's really about picking yourself up and moving, keep moving. So the prompts for you are to get into the habit of continually putting yourself outside of your comfort zone to succeed financially, and to bring confidence and a sense of accomplishment and build self-belief and momentum in your ability to create wealth. Like, you can do this. So what is a money-making move you have been resisting that you can commit to taking action on this week? And it can be a really small one, but just start edging yourself out of your comfort zone and get into the practice of self-validation that's not based on external circumstances. So practice self-celebration. What moves did you make today that you're proud of? What qualities can you appreciate in yourself that you expressed today? Like, really become articulate in this, and it's going to completely transform your connection with your value, your sense of your own value. If something didn't work out, celebrate that you gave it a shot. The more you celebrate yourself for putting yourself out there and trying something, the easier it will be to make moves that will eventually pay off. So Leo's second house is Cancer rising. It's creative, it's determined. Financial success can bring a lot of confidence, but don't fall into being a show-off. Leo's second house is all about integrity, generosity, optimism, determination in relationship to money and wealth building. Sometimes your sense of security can be tied up in how you earn, particularly from the perspective of really proving yourself to others. You may bring a sense of drama and creative self-expression in how you make and spend money. This can lead to a love of luxury, bold statement pieces, and it's really all about making the most of your natural magnetism when it comes to making money and pulling people in with your warm and passionate side of your personality. This is all about hard work driven by the desire to feel appreciated and acknowledged by others. So watch out for attention-seeking and ego-driven decision-making, especially in launches and business decisions. And don't be stubborn or overconfident. So the prompts for Leo's second house are: what would be the most meaningful to feel appreciated around? Like, what aspect of life, what skills, what kind of expression do you just yearn to be appreciated for? If you could make any contribution or legacy that others would remember you for, what would feel the most satisfying for you? Give yourself permission to go all in on that, because you're going to make so much headway when you have that much drive around something. And take a look, like, what are your creative strengths? What are you naturally good at? Or what do you enjoy the most? Likely it's going to be very similar, right? There's going to be a lot of crossover in that question. And how can you shift your money-making activities to be more focused around these gifts to allow your personality to shine through? Where are you trying to force yourself to do things that your heart isn't in it? Cut them out, re-strategize, and reprioritize. So Virgo second house is Leo rising. This is organized, practical, and skilled. Strong work ethic, sense of responsibility, chasing perfection, which can lead to an absence of satisfaction. It's deliberate, methodical, likely to be practical and seek stability in your finances. Good with spreadsheets and tracking, hardworking, precise, and unlikely to act impulsively. Working towards constantly improving high standards and good quality investments and purchases. Skilled at critically analyzing, especially around financial situations and finding ways to improve it. Downsides are falling into perfectionism, never feeling satisfied, being a workaholic, stressing about finances and really finding it hard to relax, or being overly cautious and risk averse. So this is, I really think applicable to everyone, but particularly Virgo second house, you have to keep out of money stress. So remember, we create this in our heads. And yes, money can be a very real experience, but the real skill that will lead to faster, more powerful, and enjoyable money making is to manage our reactions and thought processes. So here's the prompts. Identify the main contributors to money stress. So number one, what are the top behaviors? So these are the actions that you are or that you are not taking that attribute to generating money stress for you around money. And number two, what are the top stories on repeat in your mind about why you don't feel good about your money right now? So write them all down. Now, one by one, rewrite each of these stories. What story do you need to tell yourself to create a sense of relief and neutrality in your nervous system? So for example, if one story is, well, I never have enough, there's never going to be enough, just tune in. Like, in this moment, the truth is, I have enough to stay alive today. I trust myself to provide for my needs tomorrow. If I've got this far, I can live another day, right? I trust that I am enough right now in this moment. Like, let it be easy. Whatever you have to tell yourself to bring yourself back to the present and find that emotional neutrality so you're not spiraling and feeding these patterns of money stress. So practice catching those thought patterns, the criticisms and the judgment. Like, be the observer. Notice them. Remember, your mind is just trying to protect you, but look and notice of the internal narratives pushing you to do, to be, and to have better. Practice coming back to the present, connecting to thoughts and feelings of enoughness and that minimum neutrality. If you can't be like, oh, I'm like suddenly so tapped in, feeling unlimited in my abundance, that feels too far for you, just aim for neutrality. Break the stress addiction, because that's really what it is. It's a reactive emotional addiction. You probably inherited it from several hundred generations of your ancestors who had the exact same pattern. But know that your power to make better decisions and take more powerful action goes up when you're not leaking energy through stress and self-judgment. So befriend that voice and respond to it appropriately. This has to be trained day after day, moment by moment. You can do it. So Libra second house is Virgo rising. This is fairness. This is me. Overspending on luxury, also me. Drive to maintain a harmonious and balanced financial life. I'm doing my best around that. Definitely made a lot of progress. Tendency to shower partner with gifts and affection, which brings a lot of joy. I'm clear that giving gifts is like, it's all about me. Like, I get so much joy from giving gifts. And there's definitely a desire to spend on things that we find beautiful, and appreciation for the finer things in life: art, clothes, fabric, food. Seeking peace through balance, being good at compromising, desire to take care of partners, like seeing things as collective resources, elegant taste, music, fashion, food. Beauty is really calming for Libras. So, the like ideal state for second house Libra is calm around money. The goal is inner peace. So the natural and healthy state of Libra is serenity, and it can bring a kind of like easygoing feeling towards finances. As long as money is making you and your loved ones content, you may not have the urge to fuss too much about the details. Equity is important. And weaknesses can be like buying love, overspending on luxury, indecision, especially around decisions that could potentially impact loved ones, which can lead to delayed decision making, and not looking out for themselves and overgiving to please others. So money is very connected to relationships and can lead to, collaborative projects for producing more wealth. This is a great thing to focus on for Libra second house. So the prompts to focus on are around cultivating focus and determination and decisiveness, and really letting go of people pleasing. So are you clear on your financial goals? Do you have a clear plan of action that feels fair to you and all involved? And, tweak it until it feels good. And notice any mind chatter that comes up around hidden guilt or not feeling worthy of the abundance that you desire. And am I balancing smart financial decisions to provide for my future with taking care of others and enjoying my money in the present? And so just check in, like, which have I been leaning more towards lately? Or that I have a tendency to lean towards most often? And do you notice any patterns of overgiving or not asking for what you actually need that leave you coming up short financially? And especially pay attention to this in your business. So what's one action that you can take to feel more even with the way that you're creating, using, and enjoying your money that's fair to everybody, including you? Remember, you can give more when you have an abundance of overflow. So what are some necessary changes that must be made to put you in overflow so that you can give and indulge as much as your heart desires? And remember, this doesn't have to be increasing your money. It can be cutting back on some of the places that you're currently sending your wealth and your resources. So Scorpio second house is Libra rising. This energy is very passionate. It can be an inventive approach to finances. Can also feel that finances buy you safety, which is a big driver for financial success. There can be this undercurrent of constant fear of financial ruin and a real struggle to find peace. And your sense of safety and security is really connected to how well you think you earn money and secure resources. It can be more intense emotional associations related to your financial life. You can see money as power, but you can also be inventive and resourceful and have a desire to use money to make a positive difference. So this placement can experience financial extremes, like be in that feast and famine cycle. It can lead to strong convictions, being caring with finances, being persistent, being passionate about finances, and seeking security. Can fall into the trap of being captivated by power, greed, being fearful of insecurity, and also jealousy. So the prompt for Scorpio is to really opt out of money fear. So you can see the difference between fear and money stress. So by opting out of fear, really channeling that energy into working hard to be consistent. So you're not falling into feast and famine, and really connecting to your personal power and your inner resources and your capacity to generate wealth and to manage wealth in a way that creates that security for you. So the first step around this is to identify stories associated with feeling insecure around money. What doesn't feel stable right now, what doesn't feel certain or dependable, and identify the top stories that tend to happen on repeat in your mind. What are you afraid will happen? Like, actually take a time to brain dump and get these stories out on the page. Now, what do you know to be true around what you are capable of should any of these situations actually play out? And actually answer this question. What would you do if the worst case scenario actually happened? So identify the qualities that you possess that you would rely on. This is all about really intentionally connecting to your personal power. Now, once you've been through this process, I would love for you to check in, like, how do you feel about your relationship with your finances having been through this? And journal out whatever feelings have come up for you. Like, create space for them, be honest. Allow anything that wants to move through your body to move through. If you want to do some tapping, like some EFT tapping for any fear or any particularly strong emotional reactions that are coming up, please do that, or some breath work or whatever tools. Journal it out, feel the feelings. Now, having been through this process, the invitation here is to identify the specific actions you could take to amplify these qualities that are already innate to you, that you possess, and that you can choose to feed over the fear. So, for example, if like all hell broke loose, your worst fear, came to be everything burnt to the ground and you had nothing, you know that you're resilient. You know what you've been through and what you've overcome. You know that you have passion and drive, and you know that you're resourceful to create safety and security because you've done that over and over again for yourself. So, another place that you can really practice leaning into is asking for support, right? Going all in on your ideas or your income streams that you're really passionate about, trusting your intuition and taking action on it to lead you to your desired life and financial reality. And take these actions now, right? Don't wait for the famine. Consistently cultivate these qualities. Consistently channel your energy towards taking these types of actions and feeding these types of thought processes. Don't wait for a financial emergency. And any time of fear, you notice that fear coming up, run through this process again. So Sagittarius second house is Scorpio rising. This is a more philosophical view of money. Less likely to get self-worth mixed up with how big your bank account is. And time freedom is a big driver for financial independence for Sagittarius. They like to learn and teach about money, but more theory and philosophy than like bookkeeping and spreadsheets. Optimistic, confident, generous, don't really have that fear of financial insecurity. This is kind of a lucky placement. Like, just financial opportunities will come to you. Things are just going to work out. And having strong convictions, this is such a great superpower of this placement. And really owning your definition of success, not related to dollars in the bank. More comfortable taking risks, have that resilience, eager to try new things. This is really a natural born leader who inspires others and who has a lot of faith and optimism. This kind of knowing that there will always be a spiritual safety net to catch you. This can also lead to impulsivity and reckless behavior. Sag second house can fall into the trap of thinking that the size of your paycheck equals your spiritual worthiness. It can also have a tendency for frivolous buying and misplaced optimism. So kind of head in the sand or avoidance of the data, the facts, and the reality. And another tendency can be to be too financially independent and to not accept help from others. So I love this prompt for Sag second house. Do you have a decision-making process for spending and decisions that you're making around your money? So ask yourself, does spending this money bring me more freedom or less freedom? And get honest. Look at write down some of your recent purchases that you've made and check in. Did it bring you the feeling that you desire? And what kind of judgments come up around your money interactions about yourself, about what you deserve, about why it's valuable to you, and why did you buy the things that you bought? Really see what's driving your decision-making process. Bring that to your awareness. Are there any purchases that you consider might have been a little bit frivolous? Or did you act on misplaced optimism and things maybe didn't turn out like you had hoped? And then the next prompt is, can you recall a time when you could have asked or you could have used some help from others, but you didn't accept it or you didn't ask for it? What might you have gained had you asked for help from others? So bringing awareness to these patterns and practice taking the uncomfortable action next time the opportunity arises. Hold back from a frivolous purchase or ask for or accept financial help when you need it. Capricorn, second house is Sagittarius rising. So this is more likely to spend cautiously and to save up, have a very practical approach, can be a little bit miserly, and see building wealth as a challenge, which is something that you're willing to sacrifice and work for your entire life. Capricorn is very hardworking. No impulse or reckless spending here, more likely to do research and make wise financial choices. And really, this placement has a never-ending reserve of self-discipline to push yourself when it comes to earning money. And it may feel like a huge challenge, but you have the persistence to keep at it. And there's kind of this feeling like you need to feel you've worked hard for something, and that brings a sense of self-worth from your accomplishment and from your income. It's very diligent and driven and wise and patient and good at planning. So the shadow side can be a little bit greedy, miserly, avoiding challenges, workaholism, or just denying enjoyment in life. So the prompts for Capricorn are to meet the challenges head on and know that you have what it takes to overcome them. So what is the next step? What is a new direction or a big project that you have been procrastinating on or you have avoided dealing with when it comes to making money out or managing your money? And what's one step that you can take today? Make your next move and get the momentum going. Remember, you can do it. You have what it takes, even if it feels challenging. And the next prompt is to remember to spend on having fun and enjoying life. So answer this prompt. If you had an unlimited supply of money, what would you enjoy spending money on this week? Make a list of dream purchases and experiences and treat yourself to something fun this week and notice how it elevates your life. I love this prompt. This is like, if you haven't done a dream life budget, like if you had all the money you could ever possibly desire, you knew you were going to get it, like what would you plan for your life? I love that exercise. Aquarius, second house is Capricorn rising. And Aquarius second house is all about money as a tool to buy the freedom that you desire. There's a desire for financial independence, can be stubborn around money, something you definitely need to approach from your own unique perspective, and can really sometimes take the perspective of condemning the entire economic system and wanting to be outside of that. You can earn in new and fresh ways, like the latest technology or a revolutionary new industry. Ways of making money must be meaningful or make the world a better place. And you have your own set of values and definitions of success. You often follow your instinct on decision making, and you have high ideals and a desire for equality. So this is very intelligent, original, innovative, strong convictions, determined, ethical, and independent. The shadow side can be non-committal, stubborn, shunning old ideas, which can lead you to miss out on tried and tested wealth building methods. And, really striving to live outside of the system can actually leave you to be dependent on others. So losing independence, which would be very uncomfortable for an Aquarian second house, and really not living out your personal ideals, and not trusting your inner voice, which can feel very soul crushing. So innovation is like the key strength here. So lean on your skill for innovation and finding new solutions. Here's your prompt. What currently feels out of balance or out of alignment for you in your relationship with money? Write it all down. Tell the truth. Don't hold back. Really feel into it. What's grinding your gears? And what would a magic button, ideal world solution look like to you? Go all out. Get into the details. Wave a magic wand over all of the stuff that you've written down and explore the best possible version of it all. And really pay attention to what inspired ideas come up for you during this process. Your next prompt is, if you were to take 100% responsibility for creating your own ideal world, what solutions do you need? Where are you feeling called to innovate? So brainstorm 10 different possible solutions and notice which creative ideas deeply resonate or merit taking action on to see where they might lead you. Take one innovative action each day. Move in new directions and move in an exciting direction. Recognize that progress can unfold as you navigate compromises on your way there, but devote yourself to innovation. And another prompt for you is, how do you define success? What are your top values? How are your behaviors around making and managing money in or out of alignment with these values currently? What's one action that you feel inspired to take based on the insights that come up for you? So, Pisces second house is Aquarius rising. And this can be kind of a complicated relationship with finances. It can be seen as something to use to grow spiritually, or that a higher power will simply provide for you. Pisces second house shows generosity, can be empathetic in their moves that they make with finances. It can also lead to disorganization with finances and really seeing money in a different light to others. So Pisces is all about like a really fluid identity. And so this is going to play out in how you define your self-esteem. And there can be some confusion around that, or not really, feeling rooted or anchored in the certain ways that you feel worthy. But you are good at keeping financial matters in perspective easily, like not getting wrapped up in the importance of money and finances. Having an innate sense of faith and optimism that you will be spiritually provided for. So rather than being, all obsessed with luxury, you're more likely to value objects that inspire you and make you feel closer to a higher power. You will more likely follow intuitive gut feelings in decisions concerning money, definitely not preoccupied with wealth, and definitely not as stressed out about your bank account as others can be. And you kind of have this faith that everything will work out financially. You can be very forgiving of others if they wrong you or like steal or damage your possessions. So the struggles with Pisces second house are organization. You can be kind of avoidant when it comes to financial matters. You can end up being taken advantage of. You can have that struggle with self-worth and being confused around what it's tied to and how to feel valuable, and not associating money or possessions with self-worth like others can. You can also get lost in emotions around money and belongings, leading to difficulty in making decisions. So here is your prompt. Get your calendar out and make a date in your calendar twice a month to sit down and spend an hour with your finances. Check your bank accounts, know your numbers coming in and going out, check your incomings, check your outgoings, know your financial goals and your retirement savings and investment plan. Have some goals for the future. What are your basic living expenses? And what are you working towards experiencing in life? And what is the dollar cost? Get in the numbers. And then during these dates on the calendar where you are spending time with your money, once you've done these, take any outstanding action to balance your financial well-being. Show up for it, right? Be present, be consistently present, and be willing to get good at working with real numbers and actual data. Then you can continue to make financial moves based on your intuition, but with boundaries that prevent you from putting yourself at risk or harm now and in the future, and really be, actively choosing to provide for yourself in the future. This is super, super, super important. And another one, which I will add to really help you connect to that sense of value, is make a list of 50 reasons that you bring value when people work with you, when people are in a relationship with you. And this can kind of be like your extended resume, right? We're all trained to identify the things that give us value in terms of external validation, certificates, degrees, like number of people served. This is the traditional way that we quantify value, but keep going, right? What are the challenges that you've been through? What are your innate qualities? What have you created? What have you learned? Where have you been? What relationships have you navigated or created or managed or walked away from, right? Like really sit your ass down and name the things that make you valuable so that you never get lost in those feelings of like, where do I get my self-worth from? So that's the second house. Like, didn't you just love that? Obviously, we all have these placements playing out in different areas of our chart. So if something else resonated with you, please take that on and dive into those prompts as well. And obviously you can look at any planets that you have in the second house. And there are so many other specific placements and planets that are influencing your relationship with money, which I'm obsessed with looking at on clients' charts and really looking at those specific areas that when you focus a bit of time and attention into some of those sticky areas and bringing them more into alignment, it's going to release a lot of money stress, anxiety, and just like tension that acts as a block and can be noise that gets in the way of you actually taking the actions that are going to lead to more cash flow, more clients, and most importantly, more ease and fun in the way that you're generating money in your business. So if you're curious about that and you want me to dive into your chart and look at the specific placements related to your relationship with money and to give you a personalized reading, obviously you can book a reading. We're also going to be diving into that in the Soulmate Client Astromind, and everybody that joins is going to get a individualized reading from me where I'm going to give you money alignment prompts for so many other parts of your chart that are influencing your relationship with money. So we've done second house. I'm going to do 10th house, part of fortune. I'm going to look at your Venus, Jupiter. There's a lot of other places that are influencing your relationship with money. Plus, you're going to get content prompts that are tailored based on your astrology chart to highlight the stories that make your offer stand out to the soulmate clients who are looking to work with someone like you specifically, right? This is what makes you stand out. And this approach to content and business is exactly why my content works repeatedly to sign 10K clients, 3K clients, 6K clients, 17K clients, no sales calls, and really great fitting clients that I have fantastic relationships with. And why my offers have been selling since I started selling them, because I had that clarity on my story. And in my clients' eyes, I stand out as the coach for them out of everybody on the internet because they see themselves in my story. And even though I'm so different from many of my clients, like I'm from the UK, so many of my clients in North America, they know the parts of me and my transformation that resonate with them. And that only happens when you give that detail that is unique to you. And that is what astrology is so helpful for having clarity and confidence around. So they have to know the clear, tangible results that I've created. They have to know how I've created my results and the process that I teach them. And it's really important for you to be able to clearly articulate this and follow through on creating content in this way, because that is the thing that makes you stand out to your soulmate clients. And the other reason that my content works is because I got my money anxiety under control. And, I was shitting myself when I first started putting my prices up, when I started launching higher ticket offers and really doing things that I wanted to do, that I felt the call to be supporting people in. Even if I'd never done it before, I'm constantly reinventing myself, creating new offers, designing things in ways that are so fun and fulfilling for me that I know are crazy valuable for my clients. But the money-ish gets in the way. Like, it holds you up on your launches, it dilutes your message, it makes you sabotage when it comes to showing up and consistently executing in a way that is producing sales from your content. So this is why I teach the money mindset. Even if you're doing a little bit each day, like I said, you don't have to be perfect. I was a complete fucking total hot mess when I had my first 6-figure year, but I was doing this work. So there was flow, there was momentum, and there was movement that I was actively pouring into in my relationship with money. And that allowed me to stay in momentum with the actions and the message and the clarity and the confidence to sign the clients that I really desired to be working with in my business. So that's why I incorporate money mindset with content strategy, because I've seen over and over again from when I had my copywriting agency, you can have the most strategically perfect copy, but you will sabotage your sales if you're not like tending to your money-ish and your money stress and really shifting your energy around it so it's not pulling you back from really following through and making those sales happen. So that's what we're going to be diving into in the Soulmate Client Astromind. I'm so freaking excited for this offer. It's going to be so much fun diving into your astrology. I'm going to have your chart on hand while I'm supporting you in Voxer. You're going to get feedback on your content that you're creating using the prompts. I'm going to make sure that your shiny things that need to be there, the results that you've created, how you created those results that your client needs to know to sign up in your offer, you're hitting the mark on all of those things. You're doing this cleanup work around your money, because that's going to be the thing that opens you up to more sales than you've ever experienced, 5-figure month launches, you become invaluable, you can raise your prices and charge whatever you want for your offer, because that clear communication is enough to attract the people who have a true desire for this work and to be working with someone like you. So price objections are going to go away. It's going to get a whole other level of ease and fun when you are attracting soulmate clients using this approach to content. So I'm going to leave the link below for you to enroll. You're going to get your tailored prompts when you sign up after a few days, so I can prepare those for you. And if you decide to do the one-on-one upgrade option, we can get going right now. We can hop into Voxer, and in the main group, there will be calls every month, 2 group coaching calls. You'll have feedback and coaching happening in Voxer, and it's going to be a really, really fun way to build momentum, create a ton of awesome content that's converting to sales from dream clients and making you a fuck ton of money. So I'm here to support you. I would love to know your takeaways and your breakthroughs that have happened from the prompts. Your action is, remember, the video 1, your homework was to write a post based off of your unique story prompt, and your homework today from this video is to journal on the prompt for your second house sign. I want to hear your breakthroughs. I want to hear if you have the same placement as me. Please reach out, share, DM. I can't wait to hear how this is landing for you, and make sure you tune in and watch your inbox for video number 3, which is going to be tying this all together in habits and rituals that lead to consistent sales, because this work has to be consistent if you want to continually be producing clients month after month, have a sustainable business, have it, doing business in the way that works for your lifestyle, for the way that you desire to be living and running your business and working with clients in a way that's truly aligned, super freaking fun, and super duper fulfilling for you. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for video number 3, and I will see you soon. Bye.